¿Qué onda, mina? Welcome to Monsters Den. Today we'll be talking about Black Lagoon. I am Hazar, and with me today is the one and only Kai.
Hello. I am Kai.
That's Kai. Sorry, you sound a little weird on my OBS, but whatever, we're keeping it in. And we have not just two people on this podcast, but three now. Everyone, welcome back, Narrator.
Wait a minute, we're talking about the show. I thought we were kind of be talking about Creature of the Black Lagoon. Oh, I was so unprepared. Hi everyone.
We can talk about that.
I thought we were going to be watching a movie today.
But yeah, I don't know anything about any lagoon creatures. So let's just talk about the darker one.
The blackest one.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to segue from the mythical creature of the lagoon creature.
But that one is the darker one.
I'm not gonna make a joke.
We'll have to watch the movie later, Hazar. It's okay. Anyway. See, and you wanted your preemptive podcast chit chat.
I guess I did. Now I'm like stuck between like, should I do routine or should I just break off? But I'm gonna stick to routine for now. So let's start with something I think we can all kind of talk about a little bit, and it's how much of Black Lagoon have you guys experienced? And for myself, I have only watched the anime and everything that's available except for Black Lagoon Omake, which is kind of like the parody series. I didn't really feel like watching it, but I'm sure we'll get a couple of things from Kai since he's read the manga, which I'll let him speak now on his experience with Black Lagoon.
Well, yes. So I have watched all of the anime and read all of the manga. Up to volume like 13. That's the only one I haven't read yet.
All right.
Which, as of recording, that is technically the most recent volume.
It is.
Yes. And Narrator, what about your experience?
I have watched all of the anime multiple times. And sadly, I've only watched Roberta's Blood Trail once. I should have more than enough to remember everything.
I mean, I only watched it once, but I guess for me, it's a little more fresh. So, yeah, well, now I feel like a casual for saying I only watched Black Lagoon once, but...
Fucking casual. You haven't watched it multiple times, such as I.
You know what? That's a good segue there. The next question on the slide here is, when did you first experience Black Lagoon? And Kai, you were the first one, I assume.
When was the first time I watched Black Lagoon? I want to say it was on... I'm pretty certain it was broadcasted on TV at one point, and that's when I watched it.
Was it on like Toonami or?
No, Adult Swim. Before they brought Toonami back, it was aired on Adult Swim for a short period of time.
Interesting.
And that's when I watched it.
Huh. So, I don't know if it was me or Nart who watched it next. I think it was Nart, but...
Wow, actually, Kai is correct. Yeah, it aired on Adult Swim in 2014.
Oh, okay. Really that late? I could have sworn you were a fan earlier, but... I don't know, I guess the timeline also checks out.
2014 was also a while ago.
That's fair. 11 years since this episode.
Yeah, it's a very long time ago.
Yeah. But yeah, so Black Lagoon was a series I heard Kai speak highly of, and I don't know what initially caught my interest. I felt it was the right time. So I watched Black Lagoon at probably the perfect age of 25, since that's the age that Rock is when the series starts. And it's a kind of a good perspective, like knowing what chapter Rock is on and kind of being on a similar one myself was a very unique experience in my opinion. But what about you, Narrator?
I believe I picked up Black Lagoon when I was 20. And it was definitely like a Spitfire. As soon as I started watching it, I binged the entire thing. I finished it and I'm like, I love this show. It's so good. Because I also think I heard Kai talking very highly about it, and I
I
think it was just one
also
of those.
So I would like to throw in that you guys were in your 20s. Meanwhile, I was in high school when I fucking watched this series.
Yo, this is like
Fair enough.
prime goon
So
time.
so at this point, just for the audience to know, we're all around the same age. We all graduated pretty much within the same few years of one another. Um, I've been talking about this series since I was in high school, and it took them until they were 20 and 25 to finally watch it.
Yeah,
I'm a little
So
slow
yeah.
on that.
and also it starts becoming difficult to watch certain shows when either a much like Black Lagoon, you can't watch this with a family around.
You can.
Highly wouldn't recommend it.
Maybe with
would
your
not.
family, Kai.
But that's true. My dad
Or
would fucking love this show.
unless you get your seafaring captain's hat, kind of hard to pirate it too.
True. I mean, like, heck, Kai, the gap between when you watch FLCL and when I did, I think is even bigger. So
Yes,
Black
because I watched FLCL when it came out on TV,
yeah, and I think
and
I
then you
watched it
watched it
after.
like a decade later.
I think even further. I don't even remember how long it's been. But either or. Since you were talking about how much you liked it, Nart, how about tell me how much you really, really like it? How highly do you think of Black Lagoon, Nart?
Mm.
So I'm willing to say that Black Lagoon stands at definitely like my top 3 anime of all time. Um, it with if you're okay with me sharing off the time that we're recording, uh, October tends to be like the time where I tend to like binge the like specific shows. October is like Black Lagoon or Hellsing Ultimate, because both of them are fantastic shows. Both of them are kind of dark in in retrospective, but I always come back to those two whenever it's like October time.
That was
You
not
either get
intentional.
I
you
love the
always get
fact
like,
that as soon as you said Hellsing Ultimate, you said that as I was looking at my Hellsing volumes on my shelf.
man, it is really hard, like especially when you're talking about Black Lagoon and Hellsing. I just love Studio Madhouse. Oh my god, they just put out such good stuff.
The other big thing too. So Hellsing is one of, if not my all-time favorite mangas, as well as Hellsing
Mm.
Ultimate being one of, if not my all-time favorite anime. The fun fact with that is that Rei Hirai was heavily inspired by Cody Hirano,
Oh,
who did
absolutely.
Hellsing, which you could see the influence on Black Lagoon
They
to
almost feel
certain
like peers.
degrees. They very
Mm.
much so do.
Honestly, like with how enthusiastic you were in like your specific taste of anime, Kai, I felt like Black Lagoon, Hellsing, and Drifters kind of had this like they shared this fear that I would kind of put uniquely onto
Absolutely.
you, Kai.
Yes, that almost westernized version of anime, I guess.
I mean,
Or
look
at
I
at
least
think
they
that's
talk more about like Western themes.
look at this picture of Hiroe here with this London
oh yeah.
London border hat. You're saying this man is not
Long border.
westernized?
Hmm.
Long
Oh
border,
no,
sorry.
that interview he even mentions how much like American content has influenced him, or how he's a massive just American media fan, I guess.
Westaboo is
Hmm.
my term that I like to use.
Western, yeah, exactly. Like he
Dude,
knows firearms. He loves fucking guns. He loves American military history. He loves just criminal underground history. He's super fascinated by like bandits and pirates, as you could probably tell with Black Lagoon.
And
And he
guns.
even has art books where he's doing little fan art of like World War II history.
mm.
Really? I
But
didn't
it's
know
like
that part.
Yep.
the amount of references that he makes within the show could also be referenced completely back to the manga. I'm not 100% sure,
Mm-hmm.
but
The manga does it a lot as well.
they talk about Robin Hood, Jesse Jane, the Alamo, the Wild West, like so many deep cut references, and you're like, did an American write this?
He's a massive
Jeez.
history buff.
He is. He is a massive history buff. Which next time you're over, I have his art books. I'll show you though, because
Oh,
he's
please do. I wish I knew that.
yeah, in all of his art books, he has like history artwork
So
where
one
he's
of
drawing photos of like World War II soldiers and whatnot. It is really cool.
so one of his mangas that I decided to highlight is one of his earliest works that he published, which is Hisukuyo Kitan, which is the second one down here. This is
Mhm.
a Aztec themed manga, which is such a crazy concept to have in 1992. This is like pre-Evangelion.
Hmm.
And like, I don't know, this is such a different thing you would see coming out of the Eastern Sphere at this point, and it kind of just comes to show how much more global, I guess you can say, Hiroe is compared to other manga authors.
Especially considering your front page character is, I think, is a Native American.
She's Aztec, so yes,
Aztec.
Aztecian, yeah.
they have a different name. I forgot what they were actually called, but memory slipping.
It's okay.
But yeah, just finishing the question. It seems Black Lagoon is top 3 for you, narrator. Kai, how much do I dare ask? How highly do you think of Black Lagoon?
It's between it and Hellsing as my number one favorite.
Mm.
Oh, there we go. I'm
So
gonna
like the two, like I love both. Both of them are kind of like sharing number one place because I can't decide which one I like more.
they're
They're
pretty
both
good
just
choices.
fantastic.
They are.
I'm gonna be a little more explicit and say that Black Lagoon just is my favorite anime.
Mm.
I can't really think
Yeah,
of
that's
one
totally
that I like
fair.
more. Yeah, it used to be Fate Zero, but once I watched Black Lagoon at the right time, I guess it was telling me all the things I wanted to hear.
It's funny that you mention that it used to be Fate Zero because Rei Hiyori would then go on to Grand Order and just do a bunch of art for them.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I have
And
not.
it is also kind of funny because I've had that same experience with Fate Zero. Fate Zero used to be like my top 3. Now it's probably like top 5.
Mhm.
More competition.
Yeah. There's just more things up my alley because like Berserk is also up there for me. Drifters, which Drifters is also like very probably top 3 favorite, honestly. Which is funny because that means Kota Hirano's in my top 3 favorite twice.
I mean, come on, when you have such an amazing mangaka like that, can you blame him?
You really can't. And he's very much so in the same realm as like Rei Hiyori, where he's just a massive Westerboo. Like he loves America. He loves American like history and culture, Western history and culture in general, which is basically what Drifters is just a celebration of history.
Yeah.
You were mentioning the connection to the Fate series, and from what I saw from the outside, Recreators just looks like a spin-off of, of the Fate series, which Hiroe did the story of, both manga and, well, it should go without saying, anime.
Mm.
Which Recreators I have yet to watch.
I haven't
Yeah.
either.
Me neither, so maybe that'll be a new experience for us in the future.
I heard it was actually no. I think I heard it was good.
I heard it was good. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, a lot what you see with Hiroe's history is that you see a lot of one shots and him just kind of doing something on a whim.
Mhm.
But as we can all guess, his biggest success was in 2002 when he made Black Lagoon, and that's kind of what he's known for, I'd say.
For sure.
I definitely agree.
Yes, and it was only 4 years later where the goats at the time, Madhouse, decided to animate Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here, and I think the last thing Black Lagoon animation wise that came out was there was a commercial ad for the Arc of Wild card. And I saw the anime list ratings and I had like a 5.3 or whatever. And I'm just like, oh man, something went wrong here. So that's the last we had, the last news we had animation wise.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, And speaking of his other works, just because I knows that you don't have it here, have you guys heard of Phantom Bullet?
Is this the one with the girl
Oh,
with the big hat?
Yes. This is
Yeah.
Ray Hirari's attempt at like a Wild West style
Yeah.
like manga, and it
yeah,
looks
that's right.
so fucking cool.
I heard it only had 2 volumes. This is what I saw earlier.
Something like that. It didn't run for very long at all.
That's unfortunate.
But this is the one where you could really see like the Hellsing influence on it, because essentially, if I remember the storyline right, it is about a woman that hunts monsters in the Wild West. And like, I'll have to bring up a photo here just to show you,
Yeah, it
like,
is
yeah,
this
that
one. Yeah.
this just looks
Mm.
like Alucard. Like this panel here where she just straight up looks like Alucard.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
They love coattails.
That's great.
But that is a series that I want to read, but there was never an English translation of it. So I'm like,
Oh,
no. And that's the downside of Ray Hirari stuff. Is like he's got quite a few things, and I want to read them all, but there's never been English translations of them.
mm.
Like Black Lagoon is really the only one that's gotten it.
I'm sure there's like fan ones out there, especially nowadays. Everyone's fan translating everything.
Sometimes it's hard to trust fan translations, though.
Understandable.
I may never forget More Than a Married Couple with I believe it was British translations, and boy howdy, did they express how British these characters are in this Japanese concept.
One of the most infamous one of the most infamous ones that I remember was the Diamond is Unbreakable fan dubs and how awful it was. But
I'm not gonna lie, I think JoJo should just stay in Japanese. It feels so weird listening to it in English.
Western audiences start learning Japanese. Otherwise, get out.
Oof.
But unlike those series, if you to watch Black Lagoon, watch the fucking dub.
Oh,
It's
please
like,
do.
prime
my
absolutely.
gosh.
dubcast.
There are very, very, very few anime out there. Well, I would say the dub is better than the sub. Black Lagoon is one of them. Like my top is Black Lagoon, Hellsing Ultimate, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Those are the three where, like, if you were to watch them, watch the dubs.
I didn't hear Bakuno.
Yeah. I was also going to reference Bakuno.
Oh, and Bakuno as well. I kind of forgot about Bakuno. I'm sorry. I know that's one of your favorite narrators. I just kind of forgot that series existed.
It's a-okay.
That's like the ultimate definitive dub is better than sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Ghost Stories, but that's because that's meme stuff.
The stories is fucking hilarious.
All right, I'm gonna
But
say
I think when it comes to like the voice casting for Black Lagoon, freaking just Canada knocked it right out of the park. It's too good.
I agree.
It's really fucking good. And the fact that they brought the cast back to when they were doing Roberta's Blood Trail
Mm-hmm.
is that there's a number of years between the original and then Roberta's Blood Trail.
Blood Trail came out in 2011, so it's about a 5-year gap, which is not insignificant. So
No, it's not. Usually, and what you kind of see in a lot of series is that usually at least one person gets recasted, if not like almost everyone except for like maybe the main cast. But now in Roberta's Blood Trail, they're like, no, bring everyone back.
I mean, with an A cast like that, you shouldn't get rid of them.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, I'm gonna say this is gonna be the only part of the podcast. It's gonna be truly structured. The rest is gonna be more of kind of vibes based and just kind of talk about Black Lagoon and what we have on the slides here on which order we like. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to start us off, the Lagoon Company. Wow, I screwed that one up. The Lagoon Company, the the main cast, the ones that are important, the ones that we kind of come here for. I'm gonna assume you guys like all four because I think all four kind of hit it out of the park.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. This is such a phenomenal cast.
I would also like to mention that Rock is the only foreigner here.
He is the only
Well,
one with
technically they're all
non-American
four
roots.
foreigners,
Non-American,
He's
yeah.
the only non-American. I forget that fucking Black Lagoon doesn't take place in America sometimes.
In the Southeast Asian seas in the 1990s.
Yep. Rock's the only Japanese character for a good long while.
You do get one reference of a Japanese character, I think, in episode 12. Yeah, you get the communist Japanese guy.
Yeah. Mr. Tanaka, I believe.
I think so. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go over. I think I want to talk about maybe the two easier ones first, which is Benny and Dutch. Man, there's nothing more fitting of like the only American that can ride with a bunch of crazy people is some Jewish Florida man.
Hell yeah, Benny's so cool.
/ hacker. Because that's the whole reason why he's on the run, is because he like hacked the United States government or something like that. It's either the government or the big banks. He accidentally hacked into their systems and now he's on the run. So he joined the Black Lagoon company.
I think he makes such a good contrast, like from Rock's perspective. Revy and Dutch are so, I don't know, on the unhinged side. But Benny's at least like Rock can kind of talk to him, which creates a nice dynamic between the two.
I think Dutch is such a fantastic character.
Or the three, I should say. Sorry to cut you off. I was going to say, of the three, Benny's the most normal. Actually, really, out of the four, Benny's kind of the most normal. Because he just kind of chills by himself, plays on his computer, does some cool shit. And that's kind of it. He keeps to himself for the vast majority of the time.
Because I think like when using Rock as like your staple character, I think Dutch is a fantastic character alone, just because he's able to sit on both sides, one with Benny and then the other with Revy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And really Rock towards the end, because when Rock starts to get more business oriented, that kind of like really starts leaning in Dutch a little bit more towards Rock.
Absolutely.
And the crazy thing is that Dutch should be like 50 or whatever, but look at that beard, man, completely black. Still muscled out.
Wait, is he supposed to be 50?
He's a Vietnam veteran.
Something like that, yeah. He's a Vietnam veteran who hijacked his boat, and that's how they got the boat for Black Lagoon.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think he's meant to be portrayed in his 30s, but
I've always got the vibes that he's like in his 40s or 50s, that he was older.
Bro got the
because he definitely has that kind of like old man mentor type vibe to him compared to the others.
True.
Because he does kind of school everyone to some extent, where he's like, hey, calm down, let's, what's going on or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, like Benny doesn't care.
Sometimes it's more harsh with others. Oh, well, he does it to Revy too. In the one episode when they're fighting the Nazis on the boat, and she's like going full murder hobo and just killing everyone. Dutch literally sits her down and is like, hey, I don't give a fuck if you want to keep killing everyone. But if you die, I die. So fucking watch your back.
Yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of points where Dutch sits down like Rock and Revy. And to a certain extent, other people on his ship. And I think because he's also kind of protective about his property as well.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's protective of his property. But I do get the vibes that he does like genuinely care for the other members of the Lagoon Company.
Yeah. But he's kind of more business first and then I'll care about you sort of vibe.
I'd see that.
Maybe you could argue towards the end or in some points he's kind of like, look, I'll cut you some slack over losing some money, but you got to pull yourself together because I see this as an investment. Don't make me lose it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Benny and Dutch.
He's so business savvy.
Oh, sorry.
He's so business savvy.
But yeah, Benny and Dutch are the more kind of straightforward characters, kind of meant to ground the other two. And in that case, I guess now we can talk about the two bigger characters, which is Rock and Revy. So, geez, where do you start with these two, right? Because they have such a long presence in history throughout the show.
Yeah.
Maybe Rock is less history and more like in the present. Has more of a presence within the show, I should say.
They're the main two characters.
It's true.
Rock is supposed to be like the surrogate for the audience.
Yes.
And then Revy's just kind of Revy. In a lot of ways, it's her story that you see unfold. Although I like that they integrate Rock's story into it as well. Because on a lot of times, and you see this especially with Isekai, that the main character is supposed to be the surrogate for the audience, and because of that, they kind of remain as the blank slate character. When with
Mhm.
Rock is like, no, he's got his own priorities, he's got his own emotions, his own mental anguish and whatnot, and him and Revy kind of bounce off of one another,
I think he
and
starts
sometimes
as an
that
audience.
against each other.
True.
Yeah.
I think he starts as an audience surrogate, but he kind of really comes into his own. It doesn't even take that long. Maybe episode 6, earlier maybe.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say that he kind of comes into himself like from episode 1 to 2,
I was
because
gonna
in the
say,
very beginning he starts as a like his whole thing is panic, and we as the audience were like, oh, we're not supposed to be like scared of this. It's okay.
well, it
Even
makes sense that he would be scared. To me, the big one with
Oh,
his
absolutely.
or with him is when they're fighting the helicopter, the American guys,
Yeah.
and they like launch the boat into the air and fire torpedo at it because Rock was like, "Fuck it, let's try it." And then that's the one time when you see Rock being happy, and he's like, "You know what? I could be a pirate. This is fun."
Mhm.
because he saw he had a miserable life before he got kidnapped.
Yeah, he had a
Your
miserable life.
your typical Japanese salaryman.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there was a sense of freedom, but it's hard, right? Because in the same stroke where I say that Rock had it pretty rough earlier, you have Revy right here who has probably one of the most traumatizing backgrounds out of the
Yep.
four.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Growing
know.
up in the streets of Chicago,
York.
was it? New York.
I mean,
Yeah, and having a bunch of horrible shit happen to her during her childhood.
Mm.
so we don't know what Dutch's story is like in Vietnam. Could have been terrible, but from what is shown from Revy, like there is some deeply traumatic stuff that's happened to her as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And they were a lot more explicit with it in Roberta's Trail. That kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting to see it, but I'm like, oh, this makes sense why she's like this. Because
Yep.
there's an additional layer added to her backstory where her dad was a cop. So
Hmm.
not only does she not trust family and kind of the ideals of that, but also justice, because the punchline at the end is her dad was a cop. What the fuck does justice mean if my dad is a cop, comes home, beats me, and does very awful things to me, to put it lightly?
Yeah.
And her first sense of freedom was killing her dad, which is crazy to say, but damn, that guy's awful. So maybe screw him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of deserved it.
You are not going to catch me saying that often, by the way. Just discretion for everyone here. Do not kill your dad. Not a good idea.
No.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen mine in 25 years. Anyway,
Oh,
either way, the Lagoon Company is just a fantastic cast.
Yeah. Anyway,
Either way, can we talk about Benny's car? I love his car so
the
much.
Plymouth.
it's
God,
so cheesy.
I love
I
the fact
love
that
this
it's
show.
Benny's car, but yet I think he drives it maybe once or twice in the entire series. It's always someone else driving.
True.
Mm.
I mean, they're mostly
Rock
on the boat
actually
too.
gets behind the wheel a few times.
It's mostly on the boat, if I'm not mistaken. But that's neither here or there.
If anything, Dutch is always behind the wheel on the boat,
Oh yeah, the boat's his. He doesn't let
and he
anyone
gets
touch it.
one.
True. I.
Yeah.
But yeah, the car's pretty cool. I will admit, even though it does remind me of those specific people that would drive it around LA back in my childhood. But
Oh.
I'm kind of now thinking about it a little bit more because it's more fresh in my mind and something I kind of want to talk about is Revy in Blood Trail showed like a bit more interest in me that I kind of never really imagined. So, like, let's be real. Certain people that may or may not be in this podcast right now do kind of want to date some of the Black Lagoon girls. I'm not one of those people, but some
What
people
are
in
you
this
talking about?
room might.
There's a lot of people out there that want
What are
to.
you talking about? There's nothing wrong with these girls. I don't want to fix them.
Dude, going throughout like the like especially a lot of these episodes, if there's one thing that I have caught like as like an editor, whether it be Ray Hiore or whoever was animating this in Madhouse, they really, really liked putting Revi in like pinup poses.
She is a
There's like
pinup girl.
definitely
She is a
like there's
pinup girl, and that
definitely
was right here.
moments.
Right here, I did that a lot, and it's not just Revy; it's all the girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but there's like definitely moments where like Revi will be like sprawled out, or she'll like full frontal figuring, and it's like this is more like pinup art than animation.
Yeah, they'll
I
shoot
You're
the
see
right.
what
gun
you're
in a
doing
pinup
there.
pose.
Yeah.
Classic. But I do want to add of like I don't think for me these girls were ever like waifu material. They were great characters, but it's just like man, these girls are like one bad day away from just snapping and losing it. But
Honestly, I won't even consider them waifu material.
fair.
I consider them like girlfriend and wife material, which I put higher than waifus.
Mhm.
Waifu, when I think waifus, I think of cute anime girls doing cute things. These women do not do that. They are like, no, they're business women.
Some do cute things and also do crazy shit at the same time.
Like Sawyer, my favorite.
There you go.
Let's talk
I
about
love her.
Sawyer.
She's cute. She's a
Let's
cute
talk
goth girl
about
who's tried committing suicide multiple times, but has
let's
a
just talk
soft spot for
about
video games and nerds.
yeah. And then she's even got like her own crew with her now, thanks to
Yep, which
Mr.
shout out
Chang.
to my boy Lauden, he's
The
winning life.
wizard.
This guy is
Yeah.
He's
basically
winning
K
life.
Dash from fucking King of Fighters.
Pretty much.
Hell yeah.
Like exactly how K Dash looks.
That's all I was thinking about when I was like watching his episodes in Roberta's Trail. Like, was he always just K Dash? Bro, might as
Could have
well
been.
be.
Pretty much. If I remember right, he's the only person in like Black Lagoon other than Rock that doesn't kill anyone, too.
I think so.
Even though
Uh,
his whole thing is like he's a mercenary, but he's like, nah.
He's canonically really, really bad at it.
Yeah.
To a point where even Shenhua is like, you're not really cut out for this. Maybe you should be a bellboy. And he's like, nah, I'm too clumsy for that. Okay.
I'm not sure
Fucking
if Irish.
Chinglish. Oh my god.
Shenhua's
That's the other thing. The fucking racism and shit in this anime is fucking hilarious.
it's so
Because they
good.
play into it.
There's a little bit of potty mouth in here.
There's a lot of potty mouth in here. But Revi's relationship with Shinha is so fucking great.
They're on the verge of like killing each other, but that's just their way of like playing with each other, essentially.
It is Alucard and Father Anderson's relationship, where they will be
Yeah.
friends, but they will also kill each other.
There's that high level of respect you have for that person.
Yep. They have no problem working together on a mission, but just know that first chance they get, they will fight each other.
Oh yeah.
I think they did in the Greenback Jane arc, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did.
Yes. Yeah. Like kind of. It was a bit of a standoff, but they did fight.
Yeah, it was an all-star brawl at that point.
Oh yeah. The Greenback Jane arc is just literally all-star across the board because it's all the major characters coming in together trying to capture Jane.
It's so
Because
fancy.
she
to
had
see.
the massive bounty on her head, so everyone was like, ooh, money. And then Revy was just like, fuck, I gotta protect her.
It was such
Thanks,
a fun arc.
Etta.
Yep, her and Etta had to protect her, which Etta's another great fucking character too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
she's great.
The nun that turns out to be a CIA agent.
It's crazy because like I don't think it's stated that Sister Yolanda is a CIA agent. She just is within her own faction, and within this faction is someone else working as a mole in another faction.
I don't think Sister Yolanda is. I think only Etta is.
That's what I think.
I
I
think
could be
Sister
completely
Yolanda
wrong.
is in on it though.
Oh,
I think it's
she
one of
could.
those things where
Definitely.
she's like an ally to the CIA, so she works
Mhm.
with them, but she's not like an official member.
Which
I
is
mean,
crazy.
Because
seriously,
the
how
whole
the
point of
hell
the
do you get
CIA
those
at this point is that
weapons?
they're like smuggling weapons into Rwanda and letting the Southeast Asian countries fight each other. That's kind of
Yeah.
her whole thing. Is like, yeah, we smuggle weapons.
I was about to say that the whole point of the ripoff church is that they smuggled drugs within churches. That's their
Mm.
purpose.
Yeah.
So this the CIA and drug smugglers. What a collaboration we got going on here.
Yep. And if you
Oh,
know the
yeah, because
CIA's history, you know this is not anything new for them.
I was about to say, like, oh, it's so surprising to hear government officials smuggling illegal contents around ships.
Nah, they
Oops.
never do that.
Which I would
Never.
also like to add that this kind of just goes to show how well versed Ray Hiara is in like Western history. Where he's like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, CIA was doing some weird shit back then. Still
He,
is.
it seems his very primary focus was very American in Black Lagoon.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
the main or three out of the four main characters are American.
And you had a whole essentially American arc in Roberta's Trail.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So there's that aspect to it.
Yeah, because if I remember right, it was again, it's been a while since I've seen this. The American agents that killed Roberto's master, and she's going after them for revenge.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember too much, but I believe you.
If I remember, it's something like that. Whereas basically, American Special Forces guys fucking about doing shit that Americans probably shouldn't be doing, sticking their nose in places that they shouldn't be sneaking in, and they end up killing. What was it? Diego was his
Diego
name,
here,
right?
yeah.
Diego Lovelace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ended up killing him because he was a high-ranking member in the Cuban government,
Yeah, he's one of the
and
13
Um,
Roberta
families in
finds out.
Colombia.
And what was that?
He's
yeah.
one of the 13 rich families in Colombia. And I think he was getting
Or
Yeah.
way ahead of himself because I believe the Lovelace out of the 13 families was the poorest. And I think he was stepping out of line with how much power he should be having, if I'm not mistaken.
and that's why they
I
shot
think
him.
you're right.
Yeah. Leaving
Which
this, what is he, like 10-year-old boy, 8-year-old boy fucking to roll a whole house?
Something like that.
I think is 8 and then 10 later on. I think I don't know.
I could believe
Yeah,
it.
I think he's
Remember
10 in Roberta's.
because I
Yeah.
know Roberta takes
Trail.
place after like a time skip or a few years later. Really, all
Yeah.
the arcs kind of there's no real big timeline for Black Lagoon. Seems like every arc could take after like it's either a day later or it's a year later because
Yeah.
it's all kind of self-contained.
We'd be none the wiser.
'Cause- yeah,
Mhm.
because in the anime, um, Eda explains to Revi that it's been almost a year since they got Rock. And it's like, okay, so definitely months have passed. Like
Yeah.
not everything is happening day by day.
Mhm.
Yeah. I did want to close off one thing for Revi.
Mm.
Just because it seems like we're moving ahead, but I do want to reel it back a little bit into Revi because I had one thing to say about her. There was a point in Roberta's Trail that I found really interesting where Fabiola here, down there, Fabiola is a little maid girl. She was
Yes.
pointing out, kind of like digging into like Revi's skin. What does everything kind of mean to you? And even though I said previously, none of these girls are really dateable or wife material or anything, these girls are all crazy and they're kind of married to their job. You can't fix them. Good luck. And even though there's some truth, maybe you can't say you can't fully fix Revi. But in that moment in Roberta's Blood Trail, I found an interesting quirk with Revi where she kind of wants to be fixed. And that's something I never really considered with Revi.
That
It's
is a
the
yes. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It's part of the reason why Revi keeps Rock around and is so overly protective, even
Yes.
Yeah.
of Rock, is because Rock is and really all the Black Lagoon Company, they view Rock this way, is he's their last how to say it.
Like last ticket to
He's their,
normalcy.
yeah, he's the
Yeah.
closest thing to normalcy they have. He is their last open door to like living a normal life, to becoming normal people again. But
He's
because of
their
how they are, they keep pulling themselves deeper and deeper into the darkness. And rock is kind of their only way out, or the way that a lot of them see it is rock is their sense of normacy, like what you were
yeah.
saying.
Revi in particular is very like insistent on pushing Rock out of bad situations later on. You know, at first he kind of pokes up fun of him for being so normal, like during the submarine arc. But once you, especially like towards the Japanese arc or the Yakuza arc, she's very protective on keeping his sanity.
Yes.
Yes,
And I feel,
Especially with the whole
she
Washimi
doesn't want
crap.
him to turn into her.
yeah, because she's kind of like thinking about the idea, like being in Japan, about, you know, I could be normal. Maybe it's not over for me,
Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
interesting. So, you know, I'd still say that the majority of the girls in Black Lagoon are way past fixing. I think Revi, out of all of them, kind of has the best shot, which is kind of weeby to say, but it's true.
Fair enough.
She could.
Well, I
Well,
believe
you
it's
also mentioned Fabiola, and she's like the most normal of a lot of the girls.
true.
It's oh yeah,
But
it's
it's
got to be.
definitely like, I think it's episode 7, right after the whole submarine thing,
Yeah,
where Rock, it's definitely the Rock and Revy episode.
Yes, when they go
And
out
they have like
together
the,
and get in a giant fight and get
yeah,
arrested, and then share the
and it's,
cigarette kiss.
yes, but it's the fight where Rock explains that Revy is like so high up on her own self, where it's like, oh, you think you're just this gun-toting superhero that thinks that she's so good and everything, but all you are is just a greedy crook. And it's like, all you do is sit back, feel bad about yourself, and just pretend to be the uh like the helpless heroine. And Revy's only reaction was to punch Rock, saying, "That's all I know how to do." And it's like,
damn.
jeez, like it hits so hard because it's like it's true. And the
Yeah.
best part is she learns to grow from that afterwards. You can feel the growth.
That is a cool thing about their dynamic, is that they both kind of grow from each other.
Absolutely.
I think that's why people tend to really love the pair.
For sure. They build each other up, because you also see Rock start taking up traits from Revy as time goes on, where he starts getting more and more like stern and not set in his ways, but be more like, no, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to actually argue my point. I'm going to go against what other people want me to do. Because when we first meet him, he's just that. He is a normal fucking Japanese salaryman who will bend over backwards for anything his boss wants, even though he doesn't get anything out of it.
And later on, he goes up to like stand up to Balalaika and Mr. Chang, which no one
Yeah.
else would think of doing.
Yeah, which
Ooh.
no one else is like, oh, fuck.
Roberta's blood trail with freaking Rock versus Mr. Chang. That's like such a really awesome B plot.
It's really
I
good.
love that so much.
Do you want to talk about a little bit about Mr. Chang? Because he's kind of a,
Oh, I'd love to.
for the majority of the series, he's more of a mysterious figure, even though you do see him a few times here and there.
Mhm.
You don't know what his
I'm not
shtick
gonna
is.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm willing to say that Dutch is my favorite out of the 4. Mr. Chang is my favorite side character.
Could you elaborate on that? I'm curious why you like him. What's
So
vibing with you with him?
my favorite part about him is that I believe you get introduced to him in episode 8, and then he
Around there.
shows up relatively some other times. He has like this air of charisma, and if there's one thing that I love more, is just a charismatic character. Um, but he has like this sense of charisma, professionalism. He's able to talk numbers, and like he's very business oriented, like Dutch, but he's able to have fun with it.
Mhm.
And it's like, I don't know why I love those characters so much.
He
If
kind of
I
sounds.
remember
he's-
right,
Hmm.
he was modeled off of like Jet Li or something like that. like the
I
old
believe
kung
it.
fu movies. Which is why when you watch
Mhm.
Mr. Chang fight, he fights very kind of like gun fu, like uses his pistols like if he's doing martial arts and just shooting them that
It's
way.
like nunchucks. Um,
Which
but
again was
the
like a really cool moment when like Mr. Chang and Revy team up and they just go off and fucking blast a shit ton of people.
mhm.
There's that scene you get with him where he's just walking down the hallway, just blasting everyone.
He's also one of the first people to turn the gun on the twins
True.
and
He is.
barely survives.
But you're kind of right about
But
his character, Nar. He is kind of like, in a world of crazy, he is pretty, he has the normalest face out of all of them. And also charismatic,
yeah,
as kind of what you
Mhm.
mentioned.
the fact that he sets up the exchange password for these government official documents as "May the Force be with you,"
Yeah.
and everyone calls about it. It's like, what a freaking dork! It's like, yeah, but he's a dork with a lot of power.
He likes Star Wars and he runs the Hong Kong trade,
Hmm?
he kind of takes
which is
the
basically the Chinese mafia.
Hong
Yeah,
Kong mafia at this state, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chan kind of takes like the best traits of like Balalaika, Benny, and Dutch and puts it into one character.
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
But still gives other characters enough time to breathe because he's again usually just reserved for special moments,
Mhm.
hmm.
which is great.
And he's also one
I
of the
think
few characters that's like a genuinely good person too. Because like the whole reason he even joined the trade is because he was originally an officer, got tired of the corruption in the police department, and became a gangster instead. Because then that way he could actually stop bad shit from happening.
yeah,
How much of a story do we know? Because from what I saw in Roberta's blood trail, apparently he was a corrupt cop. But if the government is as corrupt as, as the gangsters, then what's the morality here,
Exactly. And that was kind of his thing, where it's like, well, the government's more corrupt than the gang, so
Hmm.
I think that was the shtick where it's like he was tired of being a corrupt cop, so he just wanted to become a gangster instead.
Living in the gangster's paradise.
Like dropping the badge, which means like dropping the persona.
It's a metaphor. By the way, do you guys want to talk
Or
about this?
Fantasio.
I was going to ask if you guys want to bring up the Irish guy because I don't think we're going to. He's just kind of there
A
for one
card.
dumb,
Uh,
one dumb moment.
he gets an
yeah.
episode. I love him.
And then he loses his mind because of LSD or something like that. Some drug he takes
He
and it just fucks
he
him.
ODs and then he's put into a rehab center.
Mhm.
I want to. I
And
also
that's
want
the
to.
last we ever heard of him. I'm sure he's probably going to come back. Right here already
I
brings
hope
back
so.
all of his characters, but it's just not going to be anytime soon with him.
No.
Watch him be all cleaned up. Who
That's
are
what I'm
you?
expecting. Him come back as like a clean dude.
He joins the ripoff church as a priest.
That
Oh
would
my
be
god.
interesting. I
um,
mean, it would work. It's a Catholic church, and
true,
he's Irish, so he's probably Roman Catholic.
true. I also want to point out that this was his default profile picture on my anime list. Just
Good.
just
It's
to get it
very
straight.
fitting.
But yeah,
I'm going.
something I did
I
want to talk
just love
about.
his freaking sorry, I just love his freaking freak out uh in the Cheap Chase. He's like, I'm going back to Liverpool. Jimi Hendrix messaged me and I need to go take out all the Klingons. Like, God, I fucking love you, Ray Hiore.
That's
You're
so
such
great.
a nut.
What a nerd.
Oh yeah, that's why I love him.
Uh, but
Oh
yeah,
my God, what is it? It's it. Oh, what is it? They're Playboy bunnies. 100 Playboy bunnies, and they're all for me. As he's ramming into the military base.
I can't believe they hired him as the driver.
Uh,
But yeah,
I love it too because even Shenhua's like, oh yeah, like so whatever happened to your buddy? Oh, Lagarde, he basically went to Mars and never came back. Like, oh,
that's
poor
basically
guy.
what happened.
Yep.
I forget that her name is Shenhua sometimes because Revi's the only one that calls her by name that often, and it's always Chinglish every time.
Yeah, everyone calls her that.
No, actually, I think Revi only calls her Chinglish. I think only one other person refers to her as Shenhua.
Probably Mr. Chang.
No, actually, it was Sawyer. It was
Yeah.
just
Oh, okay.
Sawyer, and
it's
I
like-
think Lawton refers to her as Shinhua as well.
hmm.
Because basically at this point, Sawyer and Lawton are crashing at her place.
Yeah.
They're just chilling with her, and they're kind of becoming their own little, basically side company type thing, where they go
The
off and do
Lagoon
bounties.
2.0.
Yeah, the Lagoon 2.0. That's not as good as the Lagoon, but just as fun.
They are kind of what I want to talk about is the faction that is known as the Roniper faction that is run by the
Mhm.
Hong Kong Triad. And I wanted to bring up like what an interesting setting Roniper is because it's such a interesting area to have a crime syndicate take place, and that's like within the ocean. Because when I think of crime syndicates, it's always like in a city like New York and Chicago, but this
Mhm.
one is a lot more
Mhm.
like mobile compared to other
Yeah,
like crime
this-
syndicates.
This is a pirate one. Which again, for Black Lagoon, just goes to show is like super interesting because modern day pirates, you don't see that very often.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And I was kind of curious to see where Ranapur was technically in. And it is in Thailand, but it's very close to. It's a peninsula very close to Cambodia as well. And
Yeah.
I looked. I wanted to like Google Map like what this place looked like, and it's just nothing but farmland. So I can't confirm this is just a Ranapur is strictly a fictional setting.
I'm willing to say that Hiyore wanted to make a place as realistic as possible, but without trying to discriminate in any way.
He struck the perfect balance, in my opinion.
You did.
Oh, absolutely. When Kai referenced uh like like isekais, and I'm like, wow, Roanapur definitely feels like a completely different world, but somewhere that totally exists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was gonna say, now that you mention it, Black Lagoon, you could kind of argue is similar to an isekai
Oh
because
my
basically
God.
you take a normal dude and put him into another world. That other world just being the criminal underground.
Or rock.
I was like, don't call it an isekai, Kai, please.
It's not an isekai, and I will fucking fight people, but there is that argument. I'm like, fuck.
As far as we can tell, this takes place in real life Earth.
Yes, this is real life Earth, real world Earth.
Unless Dutch has
But
some crazy.
it's just that idea of like, yeah, no, the criminal underground is its entirely different world. Like, there's a reason why they call it the underground, is because most people do not, or it's not that we don't know that doesn't exist, is that we don't see it happen.
Mhm.
So many people live so far away from crime that they don't realize that it's happening. You know, that there are
Yeah.
cities out there like Roanapur, even though Roanapur is a fictional city, there are cities like it where it's just covered in fucking crime.
If
And
I-
that's just the way it is. That's just how it's gangs, it's mafias, it's drug deals, it's gun running, it's all kinds of horrible shit going on. But that's just how it is. That's just life.
I believe there was a segment in Roberta's Trail that highlighted what you said, Kai, which is behind this hill that is Ranapur, like behind those buildings, it's just a normal Thailand city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing in particular going on, just people going about their day. And to know this is happening right behind them is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. And a little bit of extra lore with Ranapur was this was going to be a military city base from when the Japanese were invading Thailand and Vietnam. And once they lost the war, they just left the city and were like, well, guess we gotta go. Cut to bunch of syndicates and criminals slowly populating this place. And I believe they set up around the time you hit like 1970 to 1980. It basically became an underground hub for criminal syndicates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ranapur is so cool in that regard.
It is.
It's definitely like a anime location where it's like it's so interesting, but I'd never ever want to go there.
Oh yeah.
It's an interesting setting for stories in general because a lot of stories just don't look at Southeast Asia
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
at all. And what's interesting too is that Southeast Asia does have a fairly long history of piracy. Like people tend to forget that the people down in Southeast Asia used to raid China and Japan and Korea for fun. Like they were
Yeah.
pirates. They were pirates through and through. They would travel around, they would attack merchant ships. And this is for the last like thousands of years. Or like the last 1,000 years, if not longer, they've been doing this.
They may have a different name, but when there's an ocean, there is always going to be raiding and pillaging.
Yep,
Oh, absolutely.
exactly.
There's not a single body of water out there that's not quote owned by a pirate.
Like one of the big ones for me is like the Philippines, for example, used like still do kind of have a very like prideful history of like, yeah, we were pirates. We used to fuck with China all the time. And China still can't do anything about it.
You
Yeah.
get what you freaking deserve.
Well, Mr. Chang isn't going to do anything about it. He's also running those ships.
Yep.
Exactly.
And he's from Hong Kong, not China. Why
True.
would he care about communist China?
True.
Also, I think one of the coolest parts about Black Lagoon is the fact that it came out in what do we reference? 2006?
2006?
2002
2002.
for just literacy. Boy howdy. Imagine having such a diverse cast and just how fluid it feels in this world.
I almost feel like
there-
anime has gone backwards in that regard.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Where it's like nowadays it feels so try-hardy, where they're
I would
trying
argue
to
like
throw in
media
different
in
aspects. But it's like back in the day, you had diverse casts, and it looked so easy.
So there's
Yeah,
a little bit of a
for sure.
history reason for this, and that's because during the 80s and 90s, especially the 80s, Western media from Hollywood was booming all over the world, and it's one of the very few medias that actually broke through those like Japanese media barriers, and a lot of Western American media specifically became part of like that generation of Japanese people. So you see people who were raised during the 80s or were like young adults during the 80s kind of took all that influence and eventually put it into their works. But there is kind of a hard line now, though, where it's funny. You get this moment of the 80s and maybe arguably early 90s where this generation of Japanese people are so passionate about Western media, and then a cutoff date happens, and those rest of the people born after that don't really care about
Exactly.
the Western media. They're more circulated in what, was popular during their era, which might be something like, I don't know, Evangelion or something, whatever it might be.
And it's funny because Kai referenced Rei Hiyori as being one of them. The next one you can even like move straight forward to is Kode Hirano,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Hellsing Ultimate never takes place in Asia.
Hellsing Ultimate has one Japanese character in it, and she's not even a main character. She is a side character that dies.
Yeah, that's right.
Every person in Hellsing
Yumi.
is either British, German, or some other
French, yeah, like anything else. What was it? The Dandy Man. He's Spanish, not even Mexican, but Spanish.
Yep, he's Spanish.
And
Alucard is Romanian because of course it's Alucard. The geese, they're all a bunch of French mercenaries. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Those are your only. Oh wait, the Valentine brothers, they're from America.
yeah, that's right.
True.
And then you have shows like Attack on Titan, which primarily stays all the way over like their whatever England, European country.
It's supposed to be based off Germany.
Yeah. But you have quote only a tiny handful of what they would refer to as Asian characters.
Yeah. So, Hiroe was born in the 1970s, which is roughly around, like, this is my parents' generation. And the same passionate stuff that my dad really likes is the same stuff that Hiroe likes.
Yes,
So you can kind of see
that's
this generation of people who were born in the 1970s kind of have this style of just like fucking worldwide bullshit going on.
Mhm. You, my dad's born in that same generation, and I'm also pretty certain Kota Hirano was born in that same generation because you see where it's the '80s action movies,
Yeah.
or where you could really see the influence on their works, where it's like, oh yeah, this is really like over the top, badass, cool
73. Wow.
fighting stuff.
Yeah, so it's actually funny that you referenced that Kota Hirano and Rei Hiyori, they're a year apart. That's funny.
Yeah, and then my parents are
Actually,
like a year
Hiyori
older
is
than they are.
Hiyori is actually younger or is older by 1 year.
Damn.
That's nutty.
That is nutty.
But yeah, do you guys have anything else to say about Runapur besides like, yeah, it's a cool ass location?
It is a
I think it's a
cool-ass
fantastic location. I
I
honestly,
do have to say, or I did want to add that in one of the interviews with Ray Hirai, his original idea for Black Lagoon was that it was supposed to be pirates, like
mm,
actual 17th century pirates,
I would have
and
loved to see that.
That would
which
have been
would have
cool.
been really cool. But his editor told him like, no, I don't think that would do very well. He's like, oh, all right. So he made it modern day pirates, and then set it in Southeast Asia Sea.
Was bro really thinking about in 2001 making a fucking pirate series with One Piece in the upcoming?
Oops.
Bro is crazy.
It was that. I think if I remember, like Pirates of the Caribbean probably also came out during this time, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Yo, pirates are awesome."
Ah, yeah, that's too competitive.
Yeah. I would love to see that now.
It'd be amusing contrast to see with
I
how
would
that
too.
how One Piece would have differed.
I mean, he did try making like a Wild West manga at one point, so it makes sense that he would want to do pirates.
Ray, please finish some of your works. At least one.
Please.
I know that drawing women is just so fun, but please finish
It
one of
is
your
fun.
works.
I mean, he did start out doing hentai as well.
This is true.
Funny enough, both of them started out with doing hentai, but
That's so
Tale as
true.
old as time.
It's
the
like,
weird
man,
thing
they're so
is
good at drawing women. Yeah, because they've had years of
Ah.
experience.
I was gonna say the other funny thing too of Ray Harare is that some of the hentai that he's done was of fucking Helsing.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
He was doing fucking Helsing fan art and Helsing doujinshis,
Isn't
which
it
is really
Dojinshi?
funny.
Isn't it Dojinshi if you were the one who was the original creator?
No,
No,
Ray
he was
Hiyori.
no Kota or no Kota. Ray Harare was doing it of Kota Hirano's characters.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah,
That's great.
it is.
All right. So we didn't go over some of the characters that I would have thought you, especially Kai, would have been really excited to talk about. You didn't go over Balalaika that much, who I think
We
is one of
haven't
your
brought
favorite
her up
characters,
yet.
isn't it?
She is. She is absolutely one of my favorites. She is my queen. But not in like the sexual way of like, oh yes, my queen is more of like, yes, ma'am, I will follow your orders type way. Because she has proven herself time and time again that she is probably one of the most competent leaders in Black Lagoon.
What was her name that her subordinates call her? Is it Captain?
Capitan.
Capitan.
Ah, right.
Never
That was
forget
hard
the
to watch,
Russian.
Capitan.
So
That line in the context of it, that was hard to watch, Capitan. And then the image of her just sitting there smoking a cigarette as the kid
I'm
fucking dies in front of her.
I'm
That
getting
was a
too old
great
for
scene.
this.
Yeah, that was such a great scene.
One of my favorite parts, especially with that scene, is that Boris is like, that was very hard to watch, Capitan. And she says, I wanted my revenge and you humored me. I'm getting too old for this. Like,
So
God. Spoken with the reverence of like a real soldier. Like,
Yeah,
God.
because she was a fucking soldier. So the whole lore with Balalaika is that she was originally supposed to be like, oh, she was from like a fairly I don't want to say noble family, but a well-off family from Russia, trained really hard to become a sniper, was supposed to go off to the Olympics as Russia's chosen like representative sniper to play in the Olympics sniping tournament, whatever the hell that one was called. I don't know, Olympics. Uh, but instead, she joined the military and became a sniper in the military. And then
Mhm.
as time goes on, she would like prove herself to become a competent leader that her men fell in love with, which is why she has such reverence and loyalty to her soldiers. Because her men are like, hey, she was always there getting us through hell and back. We're always going to follow her.
Yeah, something went wrong in Afghanistan apparently, where that kind of made her think I can't go back to my old life.
So what had
They
happened? She
exploded.
disobeyed. Well, she disobeyed orders.
That's what it was.
Uh,
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it was.
they were supposed to attack a town. Turns out the town had a bunch of civilians in it. Bioleka was like, "No, this is wrong. I refuse to do this." And said, "We're going to go in and save this town." And then they all got fucking bombed and gassed, and that's how she got her scars.
Yeah.
Damn. No good deed goes unpunished.
Nope.
Never. Especially in this world of ours in Black Lagoon. As Benny says it, very rarely are there any happy endings.
True.
Does that remind you of a line, narrator?
Oh.
After you just finished playing a recent game that takes place in the future?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I love Cyberpunk.
Ah,
Yep. Happy endings for people like us. Wrong place, wrong time. Which
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is another good like comparison to Black Lagoon because it's very much like, yeah, this is the criminal underworld. This is the criminal underworld, and shit's just hit the fan. Everything sucks.
Mhm. Oh, here I go being a terrorist again. I guess it's
Yep.
just Tuesday.
Yep. Doing illegal shit. But yeah,
No,
no,
but
the Black Lagoon very much has that same vibe of there is no happy endings here.
yeah.
We're all horrible people doing horrible things, and we can only expect bad endings.
Maybe Rock and Revy, crossing my fingers, but we'll never know.
one day.
That's just it. Rock's like the only innocent sort of type person there.
Yeah. And that's alive.
Yeah.
That's true.
But since if we're still on Balalaika, I want to bring up that like this show has really great designs overall. Even if there are pretty fan servicey, I think they also like they play well with the fan service.
Absolutely.
Wow, does Balalaika flatten everyone when she is on screen?
She has drip.
There's a lot of aura farming in the show, but I think Balalaika is still like bar none the one where like she shows up, everyone knows she's on screen.
Yep. She
like,
is the coolest looking character in this series.
That's why she's like my favorite female character in the entire like series. I love her so much.
She is up there for me for like favorite female character in general. Of like, yes, she is exactly what a leader should be like. I love her.
And you know, so there's some characters that benefit a lot from like having more characterization, and Balalaika does have a lot of it. But similar to Mr. Chang, I like that the show uses her sparingly when there's kind of like it's her moment to shine. Here she is. You better turn her direction. Go. She's gonna give you 2 sentences, and if you don't fucking pay attention, it's over for you right now. All right, now go.
My favorite part, especially the fact of like how much she's a mother to so many characters, and like the scene when Revi and Roberta are like about to shoot each other, she immediately has them stop, and like I think her quote is like, would you two like to knock it off now?" Just like yeah, yes, mother. Sorry. And like the whole thing is like, and like they're still like about to shoot each other. It's like, no. I want to shoot this one. Like, yeah, she deserves to die. And she shoots the gun out of both of their hands. Like, that wasn't a request. That means stop. Like, oh God, she's so powerful. I love
One of
her.
one of my favorite scenes with her is when she's talking to the Yakuza and she pulls out their guns. It's like,
Mm.
wow, you guys are using pieces of shit guns. What the fuck is this? Like, I shouldn't even keep you, or I shouldn't even take you seriously. Your weapons are trash. They're like,
The the
oh,
the Japanese Yakuza arc was fantastic to just express and just give her all the screen.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because and then to see her plan fold out, where she is going off and literally wiping out the Yakuza in mere minutes. It's just like, yeah,
Mhm.
my men are already taking out all of your top guys. What are you guys gonna do? They're like, oh fuck. It also just goes to show the power scaling because remember, a lot of her guys of Hotel Moscow are ex-Russian soldiers. Like these are professionally trained soldiers facing off
Yeah.
against criminals.
The
Like
Yak-
Both
they
Benny
don't stand a chance against her and her boys. They are
both Benny
wrecking everyone.
both Benny and Rox have stated that they're so strong that they could single-handedly finish World War III.
Hmm.
The Yakuza in particular also reference that they're on the downhill. And during this era, I believe this is when the Japanese government stopped, like, put the brakes on the Yakuza and are starting to like kind of hunt down leaders, or at least try
It
to
is.
like impose harsh laws to make their life way more difficult. So
Yes,
they've kind of
you're
been losing
absolutely
momentum.
right. Because this is
Mhm.
the 90s Yakuza, which is when the Yakuza wars broke out and they were all fighting and killing each other, which by doing so, they were also weakening one another.
Yeah.
But it also made it where now suddenly the government's eye is down on you because you're doing a bunch of shit that you shouldn't be doing. And now the government's going to start cracking down on you, which is the last thing that organized crime wants is for the all seeing eye to come look at them.
Especially
Mhm.
the Yakuza who kind of like specialize on making sure they're unseen compared to any other like, there's a lot of violent crime and other like, syndicates out there in the world,
Mhm.
but Yakuza has always been one of the most quietest of the bunch. And to have
Yep.
them kind of show their them turning into violent crime is a terrible thing, which when Balalaika was disrespected, she had no problem, not only killing them, but kind of blowing their cover at the same time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I also like love again. Ray Hiroi is a big fan of history. That when he was writing it, or when he was writing this, he made it take place during those Yakuza wars in the 90s in the Japanese or in Japan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So because it would have been a total power vacuum for someone like Biolika to be like, oh, I could expand my drug and trade empire into Japan because the Yakuza is so busy fighting each other that they don't realize that the Russian mafia is now moving in. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that
Thank
makes
God.
perfect sense.
Thank God we have Rock as a translator though.
Yeah, right. I always find like, God, how does Balalaika see rock? That's always kind of been my mystery, and
A
part of
tool.
me, and
A
Like a
tool,
useful
yeah.
tool.
I
But she
wonder
doesn't
like
want
if
him to
that's
die.
yeah,
She's
not
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
think that
much
not
like any person, you don't want your tools to break. That means you'll have to go get a new one.
not
I
not
do
a
think that she
hmm,
has some level of care for him because similar to everyone else, she probably views him as like, oh yeah, he's somewhat normal. That's right. I could have a normal life if I wanted to.
yeah. I
But
kind
I
of
don't think she has that deep connection like the other four members do. It's just more of the
exactly.
surface, like, yeah, he's a useful tool and he's kind of innocent. I like him.
Mm.
Even though she
That's
almost
kind of what I
fucking
wonder.
kills him.
I mean, talking back, ooh, that's gonna get
Yeah.
under her skin. But it's
Mhm.
kind of what I wonder is like, does she have a soft spot for Rock in the kind of like a similar way where she has a soft spot for her crew? Someone like Boris, for example, probably not to the same extent, but is it kind of like getting to that level? I don't know. I kind of
I don't
wonder.
think
I
I,
don't
I
think so, but
I don't think she has that connection with Rock
No,
specifically.
not
Uh,
that deep for sure.
because
Mhm.
when it came to the how are we describing it? The twins?
Mhm.
Yeah, the vampire twins. Um,
Hansel and Gretel.
yeah, she had explained like the death of her people is like a death on herself. She takes
Yeah,
that personally.
it is
But
an
if
act
she's
of war.
willing to nearly like kill Rock to make an example, I don't think she has that much care for him. but I think she has like a level of respect for the Lagoon Company because they always do what she asks
Okay.
and they do it well.
Okay, that's fair. I kind of wanted to like
And
end off
you
that
got to
scene.
remember, like,
Hmm.
a lot of the guys underneath Bioleka's command are the same guys that she served in war with. Like, these
That's
are guys
fair.
that
Yeah.
she's been with for years, if not over decades. So she knows them. So when they were killed, she took that personally. It wasn't just like, oh, Hansel and Gretel killed some of my goons. It was, no, you killed my friend. You killed someone that I've known for the last 10 years, someone that I shared a foxhole with. I'm going to fucking hunt you down. And I will destroy you.
Which is highlighting another cool aspect of Baoika's character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mama bear
Oh,
part.
yep,
She really plays
yeah.
that trope so well.
she
And I
does.
love
Which I
it.
think is why her soldiers like her so much, because they're like, yeah, she keeps us safe. Just do as she says, follow her orders.
But yeah,
Died for that woman.
I just wanted to end that
And I
saying
think
on.
also her being willing to get her hands dirty also helps.
Yeah.
Because like so many of the like, and this is just like not even just drug leaders or gang leaders, but leaders in general are always like talk the talk, but they never walk the walk. Like they never like,
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I won't put myself in danger. I'll send my men in there. When Biolek is like, no, she is the bait. Like the whole Hansel and Gretel thing, she was the bait. She's like, oh, you guys want to kill me? Cool. I'm gonna sit out in the open and let you come to me. Even though she could have very easily been killed there, she's like, nope, I will be the bait and my men will keep me safe.
Mhm.
That's a lot of confidence in their men.
Yeah.
Oh,
She trusts
absolutely.
her soldiers. And her soldiers trust her.
100%.
Yeah. I just wanted to end off on saying that particular thought of like how she feels towards Rock. I kind of don't want to know how she fully feels. I kind of like, interpreting maybe what level of respect she has for Rock, because there was a little bit in Roberta's trail. You did see kind of like that level of like, hey, just don't fuck with Rock sort of attitude she had.
Mhm.
It's not, maybe she kind of played it off in the more attitude of like, he's not really worth the trouble sort of thing.
Mhm.
I the one thing that I feel like that we get way too much nowadays is people ask questions about like random characters, asking for way too much information that we technically don't need. I really appreciate how like shows back in the day, much like Black Lagoon, you don't have to know what every character is thinking at every single situation. Balalaika is okay with just being a side character,
Yeah.
even though whenever she's on screen, she feels like a main character. But like you said, she's good sparingly.
Yeah.
Because if she took up the whole screen, you would get tired of that aura quick.
Yeah.
But it's
It
like, we
would.
don't need to know everything that she's thinking at every given second. It's okay to have that air of mystery because she's such a mysterious character.
Mhm.
Indeed. It would kind of lose its luster if she stayed around for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a good amount.
And one of my favorite images of her is her leading her soldiers too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever see that panel in the manga
Where she
Quite
actually
a
has the blue
few.
beret on.
where she has like the Soviet flag behind her and her soldiers
Yeah.
charging? Oh, I fucking love that image. Young
Gosh,
Biolika with short hair.
she's so cool. And she's so hot.
Well, what else is new
She's
for
just
Black Lagoon
cool.
girls? Have you guys seen
I
that?
don't, it's Yore.
Have you guys seen that episode? Not even episode. I saw the screenshot. Have you guys seen that? Like at the very least, a screenshot of Sissy Yolanda. Like there's an episode of Black Lagoon Omake where they had some kind of like turning young sort of situation going on, and they
Oh.
made Sister Yolanda younger, and she basically looked like Marilyn Monroe back then.
Yes, it is a running gag that Sister Yolanda is one of the hottest characters in the series, but she's old as fuck now. So she
Yeah.
doesn't look it.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Uh,
I just saw it.
a few years back, Ray Hero did like that dumb anime meme where it's like it's all the girls in their boob sizes, and
Mhm.
Sister Yolanda is hinted at having one of the biggest boob size, but you wouldn't be able to know because she's old and her boobs are saggy, and she wears a nun outfit now.
That's great. Hey
Also,
man,
Sister Yolanda is just cool.
I want to add that we have not got confirmation if they SAG or not. FYI, they
That's
could.
true.
That's true.
Those robes, they do a lot.
uh, but yeah, she's great. I guess since
Oh,
I'm kind of looking at stuff from left to right.
the oh god, I
Hmm.
love Bioleka. I was gonna say the other thing
Yeah, go
too with
ahead.
her, and this is kind of gonna skip ahead some, but it's one of my favorite aspects of her is in one of the kind of like joke comics that Ray
Oh
does at the
yeah.
end of all of his manga is one where it's like what would have happened if Bioleka instead raised the kids,
Mhm.
or if she was their mother. And it's just like this really kind of funny yet wholesome story of Biolaka wishing that she could have raised the twins and them being her children, and how she would have actually tried to been a good parent.
Yeah.
It's a really cute idea.
It is. But I think it also kind of adds to Biolaka's whole idea of like, yeah, she still wants a family. Like she's still like, yeah, I want to be able to live a normal life and have kids and have my own family. But I'm so far into this criminal underworld that there's no way I could go to that. I can't
One of
have
my
that anymore.
one of my favorite ones, the one of those comics, was the what if everyone on Black Lagoon was just an actor and an actress.
Oh
And so
yeah.
it shows off like the personalities for all the actors who play which character. And
Mhm.
then there's the one who plays Balalaika, and she's just sitting there hugging the kids because
Yeah.
like they just got finished shooting the ending for the vampire twin arc. And she's like,
Mhm.
ah, these kids are so cute. It's like, oh.
So sweet. And then like she's a super nice actress and real
Hmm.
kind. And the one with Revy in that one was really funny too, because Revy's shown as like this really innocent actress, and yet she plays Revy.
Like swears every other two
Yeah.
words.
Exactly.
It's like, wow, we didn't know that she was going to be able to carry on the character so well. She seemed like such an innocent girl.
I, you know, honestly, knowing how this stuff works, it kind of makes sense, because usually the guys who play the big bads in movies are usually the nicest human beings you can meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. uh, but yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the Roberta's blood trail arc, and I guess Roberta
Okay.
kind of as a whole, just because we have it. She's kind of been the most glimpsed character so far.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, what else to say? But like, Roberta is cool as like kind of the fantasy of maid that can just shoot an entire building, no problem. Cool trope.
Hmm.
Um, her arc in Made to Kill was really cool, kind of straightforward. Nothing else to it besides just an R farming character. Um, but I guess before I want to continue, how do you guys feel about the Blood Trail arc to begin with? If you guys have any direct feelings,
Oh,
I don't
holy
remember it
shit!
too
Roberta
well.
is scary. She is
yeah,
Yeah,
cool,
she
but
is.
fuck, she is scary.
When she switches, like it's insane what she can do.
Mhm.
it,
When
it,
she goes into her revolution,
Soldier
because she was
mode.
she was a Cuban revolutionary character or fighter.
Mm.
yeah.
And when she goes back into that and just starts fucking murdering everyone, it's fucking terrifying.
I think what was kind of very disturbing for me was like just how she was downing those drugs. Because I don't know, I never really seen
Oh,
that in anime, but seeing her down those drugs kind of made me go like, oh, she is really losing it.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
the one person that she had a friendship with was killed, and now all she wants is revenge.
Silent Hill F actually does something very similar, where you're able to take a pill for health, and the more that you take it throughout the game, the more just things start breaking down around you. Just really explaining like, don't take drugs, kids. They'll literally kill you inside out.
I'd also like to point out, like, at this point, she has nothing to lose when she starts doing that shit. She
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
from being like this humble, well, she went from being a revolutionary to becoming a humble maid for the Lovelaces. And then Diego dies, and she thinks her entire world just came crashing down. So to her, it's just like, fuck it, I have nothing left to lose.
At,
I'm gonna
at the
go wage war.
at the time, doesn't she also believe that Garcia is dead?
Yes, she thinks Garcia is also dead.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, on the warpath I go, and starts popping drugs and going to super soldier mode and just starts murking everyone and everything.
Yeah. That was so
Basically,
fantastic.
oh yeah, she becomes like a fucking Terminator.
I love that reference so much.
I mean, what else are you gonna
And it's
reference?
even funny too because Rock will reference like, "Guys, she's like the Terminator in a maid dress," and then later on, Dutch is like, "I don't know, Benny. Maybe we should take Rock's words to heart. Maybe he wasn't kidding."
But yeah,
Like, no, because she is a freaking monster.
yeah. There are 5 episodes of Roberta's Trail, and I
Mm.
absolutely love the first 3 episodes. They're probably my favorite Black Lagoons episodes that I've ever seen because they not only does it goes over Roberta's transformation and how crazy that is, but it really world builds Roniper so well with all these factions and like how everything reactive is because it wasn't just the Americans that also kind of they didn't do this on their own. There was also some influence with the Mexican cartel and how they were
Mhm.
influencing the whole the Hong Kong triad and how there was
Mm.
a rivalry with the there was the Mexican cartel was having a rivalry with the Colombian cartel, and the Colombian cartel had a seat with the Hong Kong triad. Um, but the Colombian cartel also had a rivalry with the Lovelace family. So you had all these different things intertwining, and the Americans just kind of came in as well to have another piece of the pie, as well as Raniper. And in the middle of all of this, it's also characters like the Black Lagoon Company, like with Rock saying, "Hey, come up with a solution because if Roberta comes over here to try to kill the Americans, our cover is blown. The entire American army is going to come into Runiper and fucking just obliterate everything."
Hmm.
So there's so much like coming together in these first 3 episodes that I'm kind of astonished how much world building is happening within this just non-fiction, well, somewhat non-fictional setting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of moving parts in Black Lagoon that we never see, which is really cool. It makes the world so much. It makes the world feel alive because, like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of shit going on behind the scenes that we don't see that they only mention in passing.
Yeah, and you saw this a lot with the Yakuza arc. But I don't know,
Mhm.
the way that the Roberto's Trail arc handled it just made it very snappier
Oh
and
yeah,
made it
it
feel so
brought
much.
everything together. Like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And and I also want to give Roberto's Trail another points where like I didn't think I was gonna like Fabiola that much, but I ended up really liking her the further she got
She's
into
such
her
a good
story.
character. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought she was gonna be like,
She
oh,
is one of
some
the
kid me
few
character.
female leads that needs fixing.
Fabiola?
She's actually, yeah, I would say she's like probably one of the most normal of the female leads.
Oh, yeah. I would say I don't think she needs much fixing to begin with.
Oh,
I,
well,
I
that's what I said. She's one of the few that needs fix or that doesn't need much fixing.
oh, okay.
Is what I meant to say. Like, yeah, she's for the most part is a normal person.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like she's not like
She just knows how to kick so much ass.
Mhm. And if I
yeah,
remember right, she doesn't even use real bullets. She's using rubber bullets.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's crazy because she's not blind to the hood rat shit like you would expect other female characters to kind of maybe be more blind to. I think Yukio kind of was a callback to that.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Yakuza girl, but Fabiola is no stranger to like hood rat shit that happens. She grew up in one of the poorest areas. Oh God, was it in Brazil or was it actually in Colombia? I forgot exactly where. But
Um,
the big difference between her and maybe some of the other characters who had a harsh background is that she constantly references like, yeah, I may have been harsh and poor, but I still had a good family that, cared about me.
Mhm.
And it kind of just comes to show how having good parents in your corner really are like it normalizes people in some way, like it weighs them down to able to pursue happiness and it reflects how everyone else in the series, how and it's kind of broken because they never had that stability to begin with. I think Fabiola ends up being a bigger reflection more than Rock in some ways.
Yeah, in
Oh,
a
I
sense that
believe
she
it.
had a normal family. And I believe she was from Venezuela?
I think you're
Correct.
right.
Yeah, I just looked at that. She's Venezuelan.
Yes, that's what it is. But yeah, no, I ended up liking Fabiola a lot more than I thought I would. I was kind of surprised about her. So, earlier,
I just remember there's like a really funny moment with her where they're like holding her up by her bar by her collar like she's a kitten. Because
Mhm.
she's so much shorter than everyone else, and it's just a really funny image that it's like engraved itself in my mind. So every time I think of her, I think of that image.
yeah, she's very easy to pick up.
She is. She's very easy to pick up because she's
She's
so
so
tiny compared to
small.
everyone else.
I think Revi has done it multiple times.
Mhm.
But yeah, I really want to bring up all the points that I really loved about Roberta's Trail in the first 3 episodes because I don't know, I don't like where it led in the last 2 episodes and how kind of weird it felt towards the end of Roberta's Trail arc. So, I don't remember what my feelings towards Garcia was in Made to Kill arc, but man,
Mhm.
what why don't I like him in this Blood Trail arc? Like, I don't know. There's something about Garcia that kind of annoys me.
The thing I feel bad about is I have very little remembrance of the blood trail, so I don't technically know what he does.
I guess that's kind of a problem, right? He doesn't do much of anything besides be a kid that kind of gets in the way. And I can
Well,
imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just what he's supposed to be.
He does that, and then he also has like a hard on for Roberta, which is kind of odd.
Yeah,
He's growing up. Can you blame him?
that made me a
I mean,
little.
she is hot, but
Yeah.
I will say
Also, like
that made
twice, nearly 3 times his age.
that made me kind of uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know this is a fucking show where people get their, like, Sawyer is here chopping people in half. I get it, but like, I don't know. There's something kind of uncomfortable about that scene where, like, I don't know, and also kind of like really cheesy and kind of, I don't know, really poorly written towards the end where, like, just kiss Roberta and it's all fine, and it's like, oh, it's also kind of weird that you're like 10 years old and she's like 28 or some shit, or like, oh my god.
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it because I started thinking about, I was like, man, this would be. Can you imagine if the genders were flipped? How cringe that would be.
Yeah, it would have been seen as weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not really down for the ending, and I want to say that, like, as much as I love the first 3 episodes and how much it world built everything together, it got the world building kind of got sloppy towards the end, and some of the action sequences got a little weird as well, where they were really hyping up these what is it, like the American military? What exactly were they? Were they part of the CIA, or were they just kind of like military operatives, like a black ops force?
I think they were just a Black Ops group, if I remember right, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, so they were really hyping them up, being like, "Oh yeah, I know the Black Ops force really knows what they're doing, right? Like that these are really really elite soldiers, even more than Hotel Moscow." And towards towards the first 3 episodes, you see a bunch of schmucks like the other cartels try to take a bite at Roberta, but they get fucking killed so easily because they suck ass. And then you get to the jungle scene with Roberta and the American Black Ops, and I get really annoyed at how sloppily the Americans are fighting, because you start to see them kind of like, it's kind of like an XCOM thing where like a soldier loses their temper. They don't even use cover and they just try to tackle Roberta head on. And there's a lot of moments where I was thinking, it's like, she's out in the open, just like shoot her. What are you guys doing?
These are like Black Ops guys. They would know how to kill her. Like they should have been able to handle this way easier than they did.
There's definitely a lot of moments in Black Lagoon that are like very stormtrooper action heavy, where it's like bullets are flying by people, but no one's getting hit.
Yeah.
Maybe grazed on the cheek, but like this entire rain of hellfire, and you're able to cartwheel your way out of it. it's sometimes the choreography is just there to make things interesting.
Yeah, and you know, it had
I'm not
a
saying it's good. I'm just giving an excuse.
yeah, and it had a lot of that throughout like other arcs, like Greenback Jane had a lot of that, and it didn't bother me
Yeah.
too much because a lot of them were kind of one-on-one,
It's
or they were all
criminal.
schmucks. Yeah, they were all
Yeah,
just
a lot of
schmucks.
it, like for instance, Revy's whole shootout with the Nazis. Like, yeah, it's done almost in a comedic way because it's supposed to show how incompetent these guys are. And so she's
Yeah.
just able to wipe them out. And then for most of the series, you kind of have that word like, yeah, most of these criminals are kind of incompetent. They're not really good at their jobs. The only people who are like a legitimate threat is Hotel Moscow.
Yeah, and anyone who's
But
a
then,
woman.
like, yeah, or anyone who's a woman. But like you said, these special ops guys were built up to be special operations. They should be the best of the best of the best, and they get wiped out by uh, Roberta.
Like
It was
super
like half
easily.
dead at the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like it's a sneeze for her for how easily she kills some of these operatives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Granted, the idea was like it's supposed to be like, oh, she was also an ex special forces. She just fought on the side of Cuba.
Yeah,
But still, it's like, it's one special operations member versus what, 20 or 30?
Mhm.
yeah. I
It's
had
like
to.
they should have been able to get her, or at least make it where she had to earn her way of killing them.
Yeah,
Rather than going for Terminator, go for Predator.
that would have been
Where
perfect
Yeah.
in the
she's
setting.
in the jungle, she's in the shadows, she's slitting throats, she's hunting them one by one, and it's a fucking horror movie. It is terrifying. Not necessarily an unstoppable robot.
And to an certain extent, there was a little bit of that switch, but again, it just annoyed me how these special operatives who were constantly being hyped up throughout the first 3 episodes ended up just feeling exactly like the other schmucks that were getting killed easily. And
Mhm.
that kind
Yeah.
of bummed me out. Like again, like if they would have done small things, just like take cover or really take better shots at Roberta when she's kind of, let her be more sneaky instead. I don't know. Um, and there's a third thing that bothered me with the last 2 episodes, which was they were really banking of like, yeah, Rock is such a fucked up person now, thinking of these crazy plans and gambling when his plan was
Mhm.
just kind of like, oh yeah, just fake shoot the guy, easy. It's just like that.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of like, okay, I don't think Rock planned all of this out. Come on, guys. This
No.
was all like, this was all a really crazy coincidence that it all went out this way. And
It was just a giant bet between him and Chang. But it's like his whole thing was like, I got to find some way to one up Chang because Mr. Chang has power and I want power. It's like no, because Mr. Chang has done this for decades longer than Rock has.
yeah. So, with that and the way the final confrontation between Shane and the rest of the Black Ops and Roberta, how all that played out and how like Garcia was like, "Look, I actually love you. It's fine. We can come back together home. Here, let me kiss you." And it's just like this does not feel like Black Lagoon. this,
No.
I don't know. It left with with all these things coming together, the end of Roberta's blood trail kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And it's kind of unfortunate because the first 3 episodes were probably my favorite episodes of Black Lagoon I've ever seen, which is kind of a crazy contrast. But with that said, I don't want to be too overly negative because I want to talk more. I want to sing more praises about the show. I'm only being a little more negative now because I literally finished Roberta's Trail like 3 days ago. So it's pretty fresh in my mind.
Understandable. And I will say that if you guys want to understand if you were following the manga, this is right about the time where you could tell that Rihara was getting bored of Black Lagoon, which
I
is
kind
probably
of
why
felt
that
it.
felt so rushed. Because it did.
Yeah.
It was very rushed because at this point he's like, yeah, and put it on hiatus as soon as he's done with Roberta's Blood Trail.
I kind of
And
felt
that was
it.
his first hiatus.
Yeah.
Then after that, he would do another like volume or two and then throw it on hiatus and then come back, do another volume. And as of right now, I believe it's on hiatus again.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the manga panels for volume 13, and they do not look as good as like volume 10 or 11. Like, not to say they
No.
look bad, but like you can see there was way more attention to detail in the like volume 10-ish area. But then in volume 13, it kind of just looks like a Naruto one, which is, not a blow on Naruto or anything, but it's kind of like, it's kind of simple, just kind of, I just want to get this over with kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. That's neither here or there.
Although I do like the casino scene in Volume 13.
I wouldn't know. Do I mean
Oh.
I don't mind this. I don't mind the spoilers if you're wondering.
Spoilers, they go to a casino and Revy is almost unrecognizable. Because this is the first time where we see Revy like actually dolled up, where she's wearing a dress and has jewelry and her hair's done and she's wearing makeup and she looks fucking beautiful. Not at all like her weird tomboy self.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it is a shocker.
But yeah. Do you guys have anything to say about like
Also,
the
you got
Yakuza?
bunny girl suits in that as well, which,
Yeah.
I know the audience doesn't see me, but these two do, and they know that in my figure collection, I have an entire shelf dedicated to bunny girls.
He really
It's so
does.
true.
He really does. Even some characters he never even like watched the show of.
Nope. But I thought they were cute, so I got them.
Bunny girl, good enough. Plop.
One thing that I can't wait to get into, especially when it comes to the manga, is finding out who the major is.
That'd be interesting.
He's cute.
But yeah, do you guys have anything to say about the Yakuza or the Washi? Jeez, I almost screwed it up.
Washimine.
Yeah, I almost screwed it up. I was about to call him Wasihimene, and I'm just like, what am I saying? Washimene. There we go.
Washimine.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like when I was like trying to recall this arc, I thought Genji was black. I don't know why, but then I remembered I'm mixing him up with the guy from Gungrave, who was also kind of played a similar arc and like role
Oh,
to him.
wow. Yeah. Honestly, at first I thought his name was Gendo.
Whoops.
Ooh, those Japanese names sounding way too similar.
They do at times. They do.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool how like Yukio and Genji were kind of just like reflections of Revy and Rock.
Mhm.
On like they're trying to the what do you call it? The fighter is trying to keep the other one as pure as possible, but they're getting
Exactly.
mixed up in the crime syndicate stuff. I thought that was pretty interesting, really, on reflection.
Them slowly starting to switch sides, where Yukio is shifting more towards the twilight, where Rock is slowly actually bringing Revy more into like the dawn.
Mhm. And I think
Yeah.
that's the big one, is that during that arc is more so a Revy and Rock arc than it is anything else. Even though you have this really cool backdrop of the Russian mafia duking it out with the Yakuza and all this crazy shit going on, that arc is more so built on the idea of Rock and Revy having to choose, do we stay in the dark or do we head to the light? Because there is a moment where Rock goes home, where he's standing in front of his parents' house. He's like, shit, I could just knock on the door and say hi to them. I haven't been home
Yeah,
in
that's
years.
right.
They think I'm dead.
Damn, that's so crazy to think about. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting arc to see how Rock and Revy kind of they take in this entire experience of like what ifs.
Yeah.
And Yukio and Genji are such a good example of like, here's what a bad ending for Rock and Revy would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where they both end up dead.
Yeah.
Fucking Yukio's death is so sad because it's just more so Revy just screaming, Rock, don't look, as she kills
Yeah.
herself.
Damn. that has so much characterization built into it. Damn. And it's only like 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that arc was so good.
It was. Fuck.
I should rewatch that arc just on my own accord.
Well, actually, I was just about to until we started to do the podcast.
Well, yeah, because you got to do the
Good
podcast
arc.
or it's not going to happen.
But I wanted to try to catch up as much as possible.
Oh my god. There's another really good scene in this arc that I fucking love where it's Revy at the playground teaching the kids how to shoot
That's
guns.
right. Yeah.
And they do the whole like Hollywood, like, oh, I've been shot. Oh, I'm dying. Oh. And Revy's like, oh, you want to see how people actually die? And she just falls down to the ground limp, which is what bodies do. It is like
And then
that
the kids are,
whole. Yeah, the kids are like, "Oh, that's not realistic," and Revy's just like, "Oh, if only you knew."
yeah.
Doesn't she shoot like the gun at a real point to show you, like, I'll show you what realistic is?
I think she drew her gun.
Yeah, she drew her gun. I don't think she fired it. Granted, it's been a while since I've seen it.
I think she fired it at a wall or something. I don't remember.
I know she was
just
teaching them how to shoot soda cans, and they were using like
Yeah.
airsoft guns or BB guns or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little pop guns that you get as a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was such a great
But
moment.
I like it just because it shows how how long Revy's been around this, where she's like, oh yeah, I know how people die. I've seen hundreds of people die. I've killed dozens of people by my own hand. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, she's fucked up.
I mean,
Which, I mean, you always get that vibe up when it's her interacting with normal people and just talking about it like nonchalantly. Just goes to show like, oh yeah, she's been in this world for far too long. She needs Rock to like kind of help be her guiding light.
yeah, which was a pretty good precursor to what we saw of Revy in Roberta's Blood Trail of like what actually happened with her childhood and how Fabiola dissects Revy later on. It kind of emphasizes those points in the Yakuza arc more.
Yeah. In a sense, it's almost like Revy was doomed from the start.
Yeah, she wasn't given a fair shot.
No,
Damn,
not at all.
poor girl.
Speaking of people not getting a fair shot, how about Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the other slide because I haven't
Seamless
touched this
segue.
I haven't touched this slide yet. But yeah, let's
So there's
let's
also
give 'em a-
Etta too, the badass nun, which
Yeah.
I mean,
I had her
she
in
just
the-
sums up as like she's a CIA option or
yeah.
guy, and that's it.
I think we talked about her a little bit already.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah,
Not enough.
man, you want to talk about people who didn't have a shot in the beginning? Hansel and Gretel. Oh my god, I think
Fuck.
ooh, the behaviors that they had around Rock was like, oh no, that's not good at all. Like, I think I don't. I might be misremembering, but I think Gretel was like, "Oh yeah, let me reward you," and she like is implicitly is like wants to is gonna have sex with Rock. I'm just like, oh my god, no, she can't be serious. This can't be fuck. This is so fucked.
You're the first person to ever show any sincerity to me. Therefore, I will give you my body. And he just runs. He literally runs and is like, what the hell could someone possibly do to hurt children like that?
Yep. And then you find out that the whole reason they're like that is because they were raised in snuff films where they had to fight, kill, and have sex in order to survive. Like, holy shit, these kids are fucked beyond belief.
They never had any shot. Oh my god.
No.
I think they're even younger than when Revy had her first kill. Like, dear lord.
Mind you, at this point, they've been dealing with this for years too.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are tough characters to really think about because this shit probably happens in real life. I'm glad I never
absolutely.
I'm glad it never surfaced to my eyes, but it's just like, oh man, it's so depressing to really think about how even though they are kind of criminals in this way, it's kind of what everyone's thinking, right? They're kids. They shouldn't even be at this point to begin with, but here we are.
And that was the hard part for Biolika because she's like, fuck, they're children. Because even though she wants revenge, she's like, fuck, They're kids. I don't
Yeah.
want to kill kids.
Yeah, this it was a rough arc for them to kind of see
Which
unfold.
which even though they do die, you could kind of say that that's the happy ending for them. Because can you imagine how much worse it would have been if they lived?
The quote
How
post credit scene where they're walking on the beach together,
yeah.
like, hand in hand, and they're both wearing white. It's like, oh, I hope they do get to be together in peace.
Well, they're definitely had more peace than they were before. I'll say that.
For sure. And they deserve it. Those poor fucking kids.
But yeah, that really depressing arc aside, um,
I think
Bao is
that
a
arc
character that has. Oh, go
alone,
ahead.
sorry, I think that arc alone is the reason why I find it so. Uh, oh god, I missed the word. Why I feel it best to watch like Black Lagoon in October.
Especially
It's
that
just
arc.
very dark.
It is honestly the darkest arc out of all of them, I would say. It is the most
Mhm.
fucked.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably the one.
And I do like that everyone does kind of have the same reaction to it as well, where it's like all the characters are like, fuck.
No one feels good in the end.
No, yeah, no
Absolutely
one
no
feels
one.
good for this. No one feels good about doing this. It's a hard arc for everyone involved. You don't have anyone who's being gleeful, like, oh yeah, we get to kill him. It's fuck. What, like, this criminal underground shit has turned these kids into monsters. What have we done?
But yeah, it's a rough rock all around. But I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about Bao, because he's kind of
Ah, that poor man.
he's the most reoccurring character that I guess isn't part of all the syndicate bullshit.
Because his bar just never stops getting blown up.
Yep, his bar's always getting shot up and blown up. I like Bao, honestly.
That was cool.
He's pretty good. It was kind of unexpected when his in Roberta's blood trail where his his bar gets blown up as tradition, and then you get to see what he's doing when he's not fucking doing a bartender, and he's just surrounded by a bunch of Playboy girls in
Yep,
like a
he's
little
just
like
surrounded by
tubby
women.
pool. This guy's living the life.
I don't remember. Did they ever say how he got his money? Why he's able to rebuild his bar all the time?
Who knows?
I don't remember them ever saying it. I think it was just one of those
When
like cartoony things.
when Roberta first came into the bar and I believe it was the Cuban mafia started shooting up the place, he said originally it was $10,000 to get it repaired after the whole Revy incident, and then it's going to be an extra 1,500 to get everything replaced. So at that point, he's running at $25,000. I don't know where he's going to get that money, but he does reference uh who am I gonna get to fit the bill?
I
Because
bet
if I
I don't
remember
know,
right,
man.
like Revy shot up his bar before, even before the series. He's mentioned like, "Oh, great, Revy's here, here to shoot up my bar again." Like he's had her pay for it,
Hmm.
I bet he
but it seems like they get in
overcharges.
shootouts in his bar all the time. Poor guy,
I'm pretty sure that goes into the price. I'm pretty sure he like overcharges for his alcohol or something.
probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably does some dirty work here and there, drugs here and there. No, I mean he's part of Rounduper.
He's,
Kind of a
he's
staple.
probably one of those guys where it's like, "Oh, I charge you twice as much on alcohol, but I allow you to keep your guns," which is why
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone goes to him.
which might be part of the problem with this bar, if that is the case.
Yeah,
ten
uh,
dollars for a torch and Lawton to get a glass of milk.
yeah.
Because Lawton
Uh,
is canonically allergic to alcohol.
is he now?
he
That's pretty
is.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's allergic to alcohol, which is why he's seen drinking milk.
That's great. I love that.
And consuming what is it? Consuming lactose is against Torch's religion. whatever religion that was.
I don't
I,
remember.
my
Torch dies pretty quickly.
my
Explodes.
my headcanon is that Torch is Mormon, just because there's no other representative for that. But
True.
yeah, I find Torch hilarious because he's kind of like the what do you call it? Like the boomer centrist, where like all I want to do is grill for God's sakes, but to the most literal
Man
term.
just wanted to grill. Is it so wrong? Even though he literally burns his wife alive just so he can grill.
As he brags, it only took 5 seconds too.
Hang on.
He's so hilarious. I love that he was there for the right amount of time.
Yep. He showed up, showed how weird he was, then died.
He blew the fuck up in a really comedic way too.
Yep.
There he goes.
Revy, you're a rocket man, baby.
So ridiculous. You know, something else. I'm kind of bummed out.
Also, I was also gonna say what reminds me of that arc too was the fucking Laden being the only person who is actually smart enough to wear a bulletproof vest.
I love that so much.
I love it because they shit it like 5 times. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I got a bulletproof vest on."
And the best part is like talking to Shenhua, where she's barely wearing any clothes. Like she's wearing a cheapao and like an overcoat, and he's like, I don't know, maybe next time you should wear a bulletproof vest. Comes in handy sometimes. And she's like, nah, the best kind of defense is a good offense. So it's like, okay, kind of sweeps that under the rug very quickly.
Fair enough.
Like, why doesn't anyone else wear a bulletproof vest? Because they don't want to.
I like that he just thinks this is all a game.
It's so funny.
Lada is just like the most like, oh yeah, no, I'm a badass bounty hunter of the criminal underworld. Are you good at your job? No. Have you killed anyone? No.
No.
Have you fired your guns? No.
He's a fucking like MMO like role player.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He is a role player. I mean, it is canon that his favorite pastime is playing video games.
I've seen with
true.
Sawyer.
Yep, I've seen with Sawyer, my girl, my favorite girl. Of
Fucking little cute gamer girl that rips apart syndicate members at a whim.
Hey man, it's a job.
Fair enough. There's some really
Mr.
funny.
Ching probably pays a lot.
There's some really funny moments in Roberta's trailer where like I talk about the sloppiness of like some of the action scenes, but whenever Sawyer was on screen, it was really funny because like some guys would like just turn to the left and be like, "What's going on with that guy?" And it's just Sawyer ripping that guy apart.
Hell yeah.
just let her walk up and do a billion damage to you. It's like, come on, guys. You just it was really funny.
It's a cute little goth girl. She can't be that dangerous. Oh gosh, she's got a chainsaw. Oh no.
But yeah, I thought that was great. I'm kind of bummed out that Jane didn't become a more reoccurring character because I honestly thought Benny and her were gonna hit it off more.
Kind of.
They do.
She does get a cameo.
Yeah,
and that's kind
And
of
a picture.
like she's still alive, and her and Benny are still in a relationship and all that. It's just you don't see her very often.
yeah,
It's more like a long distance relationship between the two.
yeah. But you know, it's all right, I guess. She apparently I read her weekend. She is also from Florida. Just comes to show that the only Americans I think
Yes.
who survive here are war veterans or people from Florida.
Yes, people from Florida.
Completely
Floridians are
different.
built out of some weird shit.
But yeah, I wanted to put his real full title is Lord Alfredo, the Nazi that's in I don't know where it's supposed to be at this point. I think Argentina is where they've referenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Argentina.
I only wanted to bring him up because I really like the phone call between him and Dutch.
It's so good.
Mhm.
It like I've never. I don't think I could ever say this except for Black Lagoon. It's such a good phone call. Like,
It is. It really is.
What was it like? It's too bad you're black or something like that.
Yeah.
Where he's
Yeah.
Too bad you're
complimenting Dutch
black,
on
I
his
would've-
ability.
It's like too bad you're black, or I would have given you a cross. He's like, I don't want it.
Yeah. Just completely dismisses him as like, dude, I really don't give a shit about what you have to say.
I just love that there's like an air of respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, it's great. I gotta rewatch that scene. I remember I really liked it, but I forgot the exact quote that Dutch used.
I do too. I forgot the exact quote, but I do remember it was a good scene with Dutch, where it's pretty much him just being like, "Yeah, fuck you, I don't care."
Yeah. Damn. I gotta rewatch that. Um. You know what?
But oh, and speaking of that arc, though, that conversation with Revy in the submarine, oh, where
oh,
you see her point of view of like, yeah, life is either you live or you die. That's it. That's all you got. You have to keep fighting. Her whole
Yeah.
perspective is I was like super dark and gloomy, but then you get her backstory from Roberta's blood trail, and it's like, oh, this makes sense. She's been fighting literally since day one.
hmm
Yeah.
She's had a fight to survive. That's why she's the way she is.
It's brutal.
That's why she goes into the whole like homicidal maniac type phase where her eyes just kind of gloss over and she just shoots just to kill.
As Shenhua says, the best defense is the best offense.
hmm One thing that I did appreciate was Dutch's words. A gunman is a professional. A shooter is someone with issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really rings true with a lot of this show.
Mm-hmm. Because Revy was going on a shooting spree at that point. He's like, no, you're not a gunman, you're a shooter now.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, can you guys like clear up a question that I have? Because like I still don't know what's up with Shane's backstory of him being in the Vietnam War. I think it's supposed to be
Who
a
the
reference.
fuck is Shane?
This is the head of the Black Ops guy. Head of the Black Ops.
Again,
But
I haven't watched Blood Trail in such a long time. I don't know.
okay. So there was a scene where you started off Blood Trail with like, I think he's supposed to be a reference to like, what was his name? Like Thomas something, the guy who was trying to prevent like from Vietnamese civilians trying to get killed or whatever. I think he's supposed to be a reference to that. There was a moment in the beginning of the arc where he's saving some girl from like another American guy who's trying to like have a shoot off with him. And I'm wondering, is that girl supposed to be someone, or is she just some random girl?
I think she's just a random girl.
Okay. Because
I think it's one of those things where it's like the Vietnam War was so fucked up on all sides that he was just kind of like, no, I'm trying to be a good person, but this whole thing's blowing up in my face.
Yeah.
Like it was just to show like how screwed up that war was. Which, to be fair, what war isn't screwed up?
Yeah, that's fair. This is just the one with more writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I genuinely thought for a second, is this girl supposed to be like Roberta and she's actually Vietnamese that went to fucking Cuba? No, but it got me confused at first. Shin is interesting as well in his own right, where he really upholds the idea of like, what do you call it? I guess the good, like lawfulness, justice of American ideals.
Mm-hmm.
But yet when he's confronted with Garcia, he realizes he kind of has to stand up to his sins and be like, look, kid, you got to do what you got to do. I know what I did was fucked up, so fucking do it. And I think Shane in that regard is kind of an interesting spin on the morality that we've seen so much with Black Lagoon, where it's what do you call it? The King of the Hill situation. No rules, just power. Shane doesn't quite believe in that, so I thought that was an interesting contrast to the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put him on here because I also forgot, but do you guys have anything to say about like the Islamic Front arc with Takanaka, the communist Japanese guy?
It's funny. I just watched that episode, and honestly, I still don't have much to say about it.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting whenever you get consider it like a villain type character who tries to give the spiel to basically our main character, our eyes. And so he gives like the whole thing where it's like you got to have something to fight for, and Rock really comes back at him being like, are you kidding? You're fighting a war that you don't even believe in anymore. and and Mr. Tanaka comes back with, "Yep, but if I let all of this go, if I give up now and I hang up my coat, all of it was just a lie." So at what point was any of this for real? I kind of
Yeah.
respect that, and the fact that at the very end when he's talking to the Japanese man or the dad, he's like, "Oh, what happened?" It's like, "Well, I failed to pass on like my knowledge to another generation." It just
Dang.
admits that he's supposed to be like a villain of the state, an
Dang.
enemy of the state. Sorry.
I guess that is pretty cool. I think it's just like I kind of forgot him. Like, oh, that's right. He's he kind of blends in as far as antagonist goes. But yeah, no, that idealism is pretty interesting when I think about it.
I guess my whole point is I like the fact that a villain is able to lose gracefully.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, but yeah, I think we went over how much I love Greenback Jane and how it's kind of just the Super Smash Brothers of Black Lagoon arcs.
Everyone is here.
It's so much fun.
All the cool guys.
Talk about Yakuza, Blood Trail, yeah. So the only three that weren't talked about much in detail was Wild Car, Somber Man, and I guess we talked a little bit about Omake here or there, the little side fun comics, but I haven't read the manga. I don't know, and I haven't seen Omake. Do you guys have anything to say about these three parts?
So Omake,
I don't
if you
have
actually
much
haven't
knowledge on
watched,
Slumber Man, just because I haven't read Slumber Man yet.
To deal with the French,
and
that's
then-
all I know.
true.
And I'm sorry, I interrupted you, narrator. Please go.
That's okay. So if you want like Helsing level, I say Helsing. If you want Studio Madhouse level of comedy, watch Omake. It's just ridiculous crap. There's an episode where they become younger. There's an episode where they all gender swap. Some of them are just like 2 minutes long, so it's just so easy to just watch. They're
Okay.
little shorts, but they're so funny.
Maybe I'll give it a watch if they're that short. All right.
It's a bunch of random stuff. There's one where they go to school and they're all like school kids.
Yeah.
It's so silly and to the material we're seeing in Black Lagoon.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan's junior high thing. Where like the subject matter is so dark, but here you have like, haha, happy times. We're just being silly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's like a joke little comics at the end that make you feel somewhat better after just reading about how these kids turn into like murderers.
Yeah, especially vampire twins.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. What do you guys think about getting into the closing thoughts section? Because we reached the 2 hour mark. I think we're pretty successful with wrapping this podcast.
Oh, for
Right.
sure. I mean, we could probably keep going longer if you guys wanted to. I could. I fucking love this series.
This series is fucking fantastic. I said it many times I said at the beginning of the podcast, I should say. This is my favorite anime, and it's probably because it has that really, what do you call it? That mature but also snappy dialogue, along with like world building coming along and affecting the characters. Like it just culminates so well. And I'm someone that loves fantasy more than anything. But even though this is a crime syndicate show, it just pulls off its elements so well that I can't do nothing but sing its praises. So
For sure.
No, I absolutely agree.
Black
It
Lagoon.
is one of those series that is up there where just about anyone could watch Black Lagoon. Honestly, it is the least anime out there, or one of
Yeah.
the least animes out there. And because of that, it's a really good show for just about everyone.
Yeah. Like all the characters feel like people.
Exactly.
I think-
all the characters feel like people.
I think that's the best part about it too, is the fact that like growing up, you get the whole thing where it's like, oh, the anime is for babies or it's just such a kiddies cartoon. It's like this is the most not cartoon ever. Where it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of swearing, there's lewd stuff and everything, but it's like you come for the aesthetics, you stay for the message.
Yeah. You come for the Revy and stay for the Revy.
Exactly.
But yeah,
This is one of those series where like I could show my parents and I know that like my dad would like it.
same, honestly. Especially since it kind of takes place in an era they're probably very familiar with.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But yeah,
it is a fantastic series. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it or read it, either or. It's only like the manga is only 13 volumes long. You could finish it in a day. The anime is not
I
very long either. You could also finish that in like a day.
The anime itself, I believe, is 24 solid plus the 5 episodes. So overall 29 episodes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
30
Yeah.
if you want to slap in Omake in there. If you really want to.
Sure. Yeah.
Just go
I think there's
for
like
it. Omaki's
6
fun.
episodes and each of them are like 2 minutes long. It's too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to start the manga, odds are you'll get caught up before the next one comes out, so don't worry about that.
Yep.
We
Because
miss you,
like all of
Ray.
my favorite writers, Ray Hirare follows the track of just constantly being on hiatus
Tale as old
at
as
all
time.
times. Yep.
But yeah, if
That's another thing that him and Cody Hirano have something in common. They like going on hiatus a lot.
true.
Well, Coda finished Drifters. Ray finished Black Lagoon.
They're never gonna do it.
No.
For
At
God's
least,
sake,
well,
pick up
here's
the
the benefit,
phone.
though, with at least Black Lagoon, that because it is so episodic, if Ray wanted to, he could keep this series going for as long as he wants.
Yeah.
True.
Because every arc is its own self-contained story. So he could just be like, I just work on it whenever I want.
Just jump to the
It's
next crime
whatever.
syndicate.
Yep.
There's no sense in having the biggest bad guy because in this show everyone's a bad guy. Even you, as Rock points at the camera.
But yeah, if
And Revy points the gun at the camera. Wait, hold on.
she says it, quit your fucking babbling.
That she does.
But yeah, if 2 hours of us babbling about Black Lagoon hasn't convinced you to watch it and singing its praises, I don't know what will. So,
Oh, and also don't even worry about spoilers. This show is so good that like even if we tell you something, it should just encourage you to just go watch the show itself.
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, how about we close
And
out the
again, this
podcast
is
now?
one of those like super episodic series, so like spoilers aren't going to affect it that much. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So how about we close out the podcast because I need some air. I've been having my window closed this entire time so no noise comes in. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us in another episode of Monsters Den. With me today has been Kai.
Hi. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Go watch Black Lagoon or read it.
Listen to him. And with me today
Please.
has also been the Roderick D. Narrator.
As a pirate myself, allow me to express just how awesome Black Lagoon is. If you like pirates, go watch the pirate show. Yeah, it's really good.
Recommended by a pirate himself. Stamp of
Exactly.
approval. And I have been Hazar. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. Don't get lost out there. Matane. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.